No one can say that the Hitman developers don't work hard on creating possible situations and ways to give the players a unique playthrough, and at this point, we wouldn't expect anything less. Unfortunately, when a particular action doesn't prove to work in a way that changes the script, it can be extremely frustrating when it impedes on the completion of a level. The town of Sapienza, a beautiful yet fictional town, is wonderfully realized. So beautiful, in fact, that it seems like it should be a crime that all of the objectives in the campaign are located in the mansion across the street. It's a great mansion, well developed, a lot of detail on everything except for the NPCs, which is something that can't be helped at this point and was talked about in the review of the first episode. There are plenty of ways to complete a campaign, as is expected with a Hitman title. However, during my initial playthrough, I ran into strange circumstances. First and foremost was an option to poison a drink. This is not a new concept in the franchise, but when an option like that becomes available to you, when executed, one would expect it to have some kind of repercussion that makes getting to your objective easier. But in this case, it did nothing. Just to give an example. One of the targets has 2 bodyguards around them, so in order to have a chance to eliminate your target without being spotted, logic would dictate that if you poison one of them, they would get sick or die. At first when I did this, that was the result. After I infiltrated the room where the target eventually goes to, I waited in a container to take her and the remaining guard out. They came back into the room and turned their backs so I could get the kill. However, the second guard came back from the bathroom and made it impossible to get a clean kill. So the question is, what was the point in even having the option to poison the bodyguard? Another glitch came into play where Agent 47 had to destroy a virus in a lab underneath the mansion. Everything was going smoothly, for the most part, and the virus was destroyed, but the objective list was never updated saying I did so, which made it, in turn, where I did not have an option to escape the level. Talk about frustrating. One of the things I noticed was some of the strange audio happening when it comes to character dialogue. For instance, if you're hiding in a container, there seems to be a disconnect with being able to hear the conversation. Understandably, if you're in somewhere, in something, hiding from an enemy, the sound would be dulled down, but in a game where there needs to be a way to listen to the dialogue, it just didn't make any sense. At least the subtitles were on and I could keep up with what kind of personality one of my targets had. Other than that, the music cues hit when they needed to, even if they came in rather abruptly at some points. I may have just happened to pick rare options concurrently, which made my game experience bad. Having stated these faults, though, that I have found, I now understand why Square Enix decided to break down the games into parts. Originally, this game was supposed to be released in December of 2015 with 6 missions originally on the disc, named the Sarajevo 6, and then having content released after that. From the glitches and issues I have encountered through my playthrough, I am under the opinion that if the game had released on its initial date, we probably would have had a broken and extremely glitchy game. It was smart to give each episode more time, but regardless, if it's an episode or a full game, a buggy game is a buggy game. And I am not an analyst for game companies, nor will I pretend to be, but simply delaying this game as a whole would have probably done wonders. But it wasn't, and that is probably due to some sort of company projections. Overall, Hitman's second episode was a bit lackluster. The vastness of the map, the detail of the Sapienza as a town, the multi-floored mansion were highlights to be sure, and the multiple ways to take down your targets like most Hitman areas are great. Unfortunately, it is bogged down by long load times, glitches that actually rendered finishing a level impossible, and strange audio decisions made it to where revisiting the area to try other methods of assassination seemed to be more like a chore. And I'm Bryan with the nuGame Network. You could read the full article on nuGame.net, that's NUGAME.net, and join us again for more reviews and articles and even podcasts. I'm Bryan, and I'm out.